Did the SEC just mess up and miss its deadline, defaulting the appeal? Well, I've got the latest for you. We're also going to talk about acquisitions in the crypto space because these companies got money and deals are being made. Speaking of money, we're going to talk about XRP prices. Italy raises its tax.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
If you take medication for heart stuff, seizures, ulcers, well then this video isn't for you because you're going to be pissed as we go on. But before we get into the news, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty. Maybe I'll share it at the beginning of the next one. Doomsayer says, hey Klaus, I know it's late, but something crossed my mind. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I haven't been following it, but I noticed that John Deaton receives significantly more likes and comments on X than Warren. While I agree with your sentiment that Deaton doesn't stand a chance, I'm wondering if that info plays anything. You got to think of the demographic of Warren, right? A lot of Warren supporters, they're probably not on X. A lot of Deaton supporters, they probably are. Does that mean that Deaton has more supporters than Warren? Not a chance in hell. But maybe on the X platform, he does. So keep that in mind. It's all about age. I always like thinking of those people on Facebook, right? My kids always say Facebook users are old people. See what I mean? It's that demographic thing. Anthony Canella says, what a great idea. It's using the SEC's tactics on themselves. Let's see how your own medicine tastes, Gary. Hodl on. Yeah, Grayscale yesterday just stuck it to the SEC. If you didn't see that video, I will have it linked at the end. They're forcing the SEC to make a choice on an XRP ETF. But the deal is that XRP is so small that they're thinking we might be able to sneak this in. And then what would happen if they'd be like, you know, you just approved an ETF with only 2% XRP. Do you think you could approve one with 10%? And then with 15, and then with 20, and you know what it's like, ladies and gents, when you try to get a little bit more from your partner, you try just the tip and just a little bit more, you wait to get smacked. Trucker Trash says lowercase SEC is short for cock block. That's what I heard. Not saying it's true. Have a great day. You have a great day as well. This news with the SEC is going to piss you off because deadline missed. Yeah, kinda. Bitcoin's in at 66,841 while ETH is at 25.99. BNB is at 591 while Sol's at 151. No love for Charles with 88 at 34.4. XRP sitting at 55.1. That's healthy because if XRP can stay north of 55 through this case drama, I think we'll be better off. 12.2 is the price of Caspa, deep in the red here, down 8%. XLM Meridian, told you nothing was going to happen price-wise. Stripe to strengthen its crypto ties with bridge acquisition. Yes, these companies have money. When they have money and things are right, there's going to be mergers and acquisitions. Bridge has raised $58 million in funding so far with its latest Series A round led by Sequoia Capital. This acquisition would be major for Stripe, which recently resumed accepting crypto payments after a 6-year hiatus. Stripe has long been considered a top candidate for an IPO, but the company has shown no rush to go public. Earlier this year, Stripe and its investors agreed to repurchase over $1 billion in shares from its employees, valuing the company at $65 billion. I love it. Getting back into it. They're waiting for things to be right. And you got to think, when these crypto companies, right, are pulling out of the market, they're pulling out of the market for several things. Number one, maybe they're just not making any money. Number two, some regulatory concerns as well. And number three, maybe honestly, the timing just isn't right in general with competition. But now you're seeing the players with money step in. Mergers and acquisitions is a freaking great sign. I would love to see more of it in this space. Now I'm going to hear from you because this is messed up, SA. Like, for real, this is almost as bad as Cam wanting to tax unrealized gains. And that was the dumbest fucking thing I've heard. Italy to raise Bitcoin capital gains tax to 42%. Whoa. Deputy Finance Minister Maurizio Leo announced plans to increase the capital gains tax on BTC and other cryptos from 26% to 42%. Holy crap. The decision revealed during a conference outlining Italy's 2025 budget on Wednesday comes as Bitcoin trades near 67,000. Substantial tax hike is part of Italy's broader strategy to additionally get revenue, with the government citing the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies. So basically what they're saying is, look, we know a bunch of people are getting into crypto, so let's tax the ever-living hell out of them. Way to go, global governments, for real. It doesn't matter if it's Italy, Canada, England, South Africa, Russia, China, Korea, the United States. All these governments suck freaking balls. The measure, which is included in Italy's new approved $30 billion budget for 2025, awaits its final parliamentary approval. This is not good, okay? I get it. Countries out there are like, yo, if we can't stop you from playing in crypto, well, then you know what? We're going to milk you. For real, that's what this is. That's totally what this is. By the way, FEMA payouts. Total scam and joke down south here. You know that most people are getting denied for FEMA payouts? Yeah. Think about that. Our own tax money, which goes into the FEMA budget, then you apply for FEMA help and you get denied. Yeah, so don't believe those stories out there that the payouts are happening because I live in the affected area. Very few people are actually receiving payouts. All right, we got to talk about this appeal stuff because this is messed up. Like I said, you take heart medication, stuff for ulcers, you got seizures, you got some problems with the wiring up in your head. Take your meds now before we get into this article. XRP case appeal update. Did the SEC miss its deadline? Journalist Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business recently shared on X while the SEC has filed its notice of appeal on October 2nd, which made the deadline yesterday, the document was not officially docketed until October 4th. This detail has sparked debate on whether the SEC's deadline to file Form C for the appeal is October 18th rather than the 16th. Tourette reached out to the SEC because what happened was there was a lot of people out there thinking, yo, did the SEC just default? Did they just screw up their whole appeal by not filing in time? Listen to this. This just happened 16 minutes ago. You want breaking news where you hit that subscribe button, the like button, because you dig me not wasting your time, and because I bring you news 7 days a week. Oh, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. This is what she got 16 minutes ago. New, heard back from the SEC this morning. According to a spokesperson, the appeal is proceeding normally and the documents will be filed publicly soon. So guess what? They have until the 18th. Isn't that messed up? So the civil appeal was filed on 10/3 and it was entered on 10/4 officially. So because of that, now they get 2 extra days to file their appeal. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there. For any of you that have been in the work world, school world, you know when like your teacher or your boss was like, yo, this project needs to be done on June 9th. And you're like, all right, cool, I got it. But then what? June 9th comes around and he's like, yo, dude, where's your project? It's not done yet. And you're like, bro, you told me at 5:35 2 weeks ago. So technically you told me the next business day. So I have until June 10th. For real? This is how we're operating in this freaking country. This is the shit that gets to go on. You wonder why I get so pissed with the shenanigans by the United States government. And yesterday we had a commenter that said, what happened to the right to a speedy trial? Yeah, you have that right, but then here's the problem. These lawyers find these loopholes. These officials know exactly how to milk and just use the system. And what happens is they take advantage of it. You and I couldn't get away with this crap, but the SEC can. This is just an absolute mess. Eleanor says, entry number 1, the notice of civil appeal has a date of 10/3 and an entered date of 10/4. So the SEC said that it has leeway to file until the 18th. So the real deadline, and I've got it right here, 14 days from the time of the notice, and the notice is the 4th of October. The real deadline is Friday, October 18th at 11:59 p.m. Can't make this shit up. And what bothers me more than anything about this entire story is where were those people yesterday saying, oh, no, we're good until the 18th. No, the SEC is screwing with people's emotions. And remember, they're supposed to be the body out there that's protecting the investors. You know how many people made moves yesterday thinking that the SEC missed its deadline? This is absolutely messed up. Let's talk about XRP price. First things first, out of the top 10 in crypto for the year, XRP is the only one in the red, down 10% for the year. Who's off worst? Oh, Cardano ADA at down 41%. But let's zoom into XRP because like I said earlier, I'm happy with 55-cent XRP going into this. And that's exactly what you're seeing on the screen. Ever since we pulled back, we have been building up, and up, leading to the appeal date. Now, what happened was you had a little bit of a pump-ola in the evening going into the morning thinking, yo, deadline was missed. We good to go, right, girlfriend? And that's exactly what you see right here. But then the details started coming out where the SEC didn't meet its deadline. Because was it really a deadline? I mean, seriously, can you make this stuff up? Filed on the 2nd. Entered on the 3rd. Actually submitted into the system on the 4th. So the 4th is what counts. Dude, you and I would be raked over the coals if we tried to do shit like this. This is an absolute joke. Now, volume, though, for XRP is exploding. 1.4 billion, up 20% last 24 hours. This last move that we've seen, though, over these last 12 hours is a good one. Putting more pressure on the price on the way up. We're going to look at the 15-minute candlesticks here and see that we were rejected just north of 56.50, technically at 56.66. Where are we getting our support? Well, it's well above 53.5, which is a good thing. And as long as we can hold this through this appeal window, we should be okay. But the problem we got is this. We're going into the weekend. And we know the weekends haven't been too friendly to crypto. The volume has really sucked some ass. And the SEC has until 11:59 on Friday. So what happens if the SEC waits to the last minute, goes after secondary sales, goes after Chris, goes after everything going into the weekend? Then what? Are we going to have that nasty price pressure? And that's what a lot of people are worrying about right now. The timing of this. Is the SEC doing this on purpose? Are they just that brilliant where they're able to come up with strats like this? Or does the SEC know all the tips and tricks in order to screw over the American public? Did you take your heart meds before that segment? Because for real, if that did not raise your blood pressure, cause your seizures to get you start twitching, then I don't know what to tell you. You might not be alive. This is absolutely frustrating and is absolutely indicative of the system we have in the United States. This court system is riddled with messes and gaps and holes and junk like this left and right. And the worst part is these SEC bigs, they know about all these loopholes. They know about all this stuff, and they're playing it like a game. And remember, the SEC is supposed to be that regulatory body out there protecting investors. But the SEC didn't catch Sam Bankman-Fried. They didn't catch Mashinsky. They didn't catch Do Kwon. They didn't catch any of these losers until after the damage has been done. And now they're playing games with the appeal window here with the SEC versus Ripple case, putting XRP holders in the crosshairs. Absolutely absurd, and this frustrates me more than you know. Well, yeah, you probably know because you probably see it on my face. And you know what the worst part is? In a couple weeks, we're going to be dealing with even more chicanery, shenanigans, skullduggery bullshit because the election is coming. And you're going to see games played like you've never seen before. For those of you that are in the United States, you know what I'm talking about. Talking about hanging chads. We're talking about, mail-in ballot fraud. We're talking about all sorts of stuff. For those of you that do not live in the United States, you're going to see how shitty of a country the United States is when it comes into processes like the election and when it comes to things being held and heard through the courts. It's an absolute joke. And now, mind you, as these cases get delayed and pushed out further, and further, that costs more money, right? So if you don't have a lot of money and your case keeps getting pushed out, delayed, it's draining you of money, right? So again, the rich who have money, the rich who have resources are able to fight and weather the storms of all these delays and drawn out proceedings. Come on, man. You file your intent on the 2nd, you get 14 days from that. Oh, no, it actually technically counts when it goes into the system. Seriously? Go fuck yourself, man. This is bullshit. Pissed me off to see it this morning because I went to bed last night thinking, you know what? Maybe the SEC is like, yo, we're just going to back off of this. There's too much pressure going on with the election. Nope. They said, screw off. We're going to bend you over. No lube. We'll catch you later. Choo-choo bitches.